So hello viewers, welcome back to SF Studio, and it's your boy Mugabe GH, ready to give you a general discussion on the incoming election 2024 on December 7th. Now, I'm here with my guests, and I'll let them introduce themselves into their camera for you guys to be able to recognize the people I'm coming to have the conversation with. So I'll start from my left side. He will introduce himself. So, my boss.
Yeah, I'm Bright. I am Ano. So I would like to call myself a social commentator, and my expertise is more in finance, accounting, economics. Yeah. Thank
Nice. Matthias. Okay, so my viewers, I have with me a very nice gentleman here. From my left side, Mr. Bright, and then my right side, Mr. Matthias. Now, I'm moving straight to the discussion. You guys all know that we are heading towards our election in 2024. We have about, I think, countdown 27 days more. I stand to be corrected if. So I decided that I have to go through this process with my people so that most of us will see what they go on in Ghana. So, Mr. Matthias, I start with you. You know, election is coming, and we all want to vote. Personally, I will vote, and you will vote. I want to know your expectations.
Right. Expectations are other than nothing new.
Okay. If you say that,
we are all expecting a peaceful, free, and fair election.
Okay.
Yeah, there are a lot of factors that is going to contribute to the peaceful, free, and fair election.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm sure the bodies involved, or the bodies that are been entrusted that's to organize the election, they are also doing our part. Then we as the voters too, we also have our role to play to have a peaceful, free, and fair election. Yeah.
Okay, so my viewers, Mr. Matthias is saying that he is expecting a free and fair election in this upcoming 2024 December 7th election. So he expects nothing more than free and fair elections. Okay, Mr. Wright, what's your opinion on that? The expectations on the coming election?
Yeah. So to continue from where Matthias ended,
Okay.
we are expecting a very peaceful election this 2024, and we hope that everyone involved, the stakeholders, the electoral commission, the political parties, the individual voters, everyone will come together to make sure that this election is a successful one. The security services, the police, the army, and everyone have to do their parts, devoid of any political affiliations, and make sure that at the end of the day, we deliver a credible election that is very peaceful, and every Ghanaian will be happy at the end of the day. So I believe that if we all do our part well, and we deliver a very transparent, free, and fair election, at the end of the day, even the winners and the losers will all take it well, and we'll move on as a country. So I'm expecting a very peaceful election as well this 2024.
Nice one then. So you can hear from my boss as well, Mr. Bright. He's saying that he is not expecting anything less or more than a transparent election. So he's calling on all agencies that will be factored into this election, people who are mattered, should come together, and at the end of the day, we'll be able to have a peaceful election. Then, if the loser also accepts the fate because of the unity or understanding of, or the fair knowledge of what goes on the ground, they also take it in that aspect. So now we'll quick move forward. Mr. Bright, I want to find out, do you people think that the MPP government will still retain their seat?
This is a very important question, and personally, I think it will be a very difficult job for the MPP to win this 2024 election. Everything is possible though, but to be a very difficult job for them. Why do I say so? Because they've been in power for 8 years now, and one thing that one problem incumbent governments have is that convincing people that you are going to do better than you are already doing is very difficult to convince people. So for example, now if you look at the economy, if you look at governance, a lot of things are not going too well. On the front of the economy, we look at inflation rates. Inflation rates are very high, and anytime inflation goes up, the ordinary Ghanaian suffers because when you go to the market, you take out money, you can only buy few goods, And at the end of the day, you see that it hurts families. So on the front of economy, I think that the NPP has not lived up to its expectation. It has not lived up to its promises in terms of inflation, high interest rate, taxation. And I think that based on these three factors of the economy, it will be a very difficult job for them. I don't see them retaining power this December elections. It will be a very difficult job for them.
I won't say this is a prophecy, but I will say that what Mr. Bright is saying is really matters, because if let's say you have something to do, you do it when you have the enough time, right? You don't wait at a limited time, then you started saying I'll be able to do this, to do that. So he's basically saying that he's not seeing it to be easy for the NPP government to retain their seat based on the issues that are happening within their government. From 2016 when they took over, we know what's going on, and then till today we know what happens. So if you vote, or if you are going to vote and we are to consider all these factors, then it will not be easy for NPP government to retain their seat.
And also, just to add this very important one too, I believe that in Ghana, both the two major political parties, MPP and the NDC, are going to maintain their bases. Their strongholds are going to support them. What will determine the election is going to be the floating voters, who I believe are the middle class. And I believe that with the domestic debt exchange program that happened within the last 2 years, I think it has affected the middle class a lot. Most people lost their investments, and I think they are going to punish the NPP administration for that. So I think that they will be the floating voters who will make the change this December election.
Oh, okay, well said. So, Mr. Matthias, what's your thought on that? Because looking at per what my brother is saying, I think he's making a very good point there. So I want to know your...
made a very strong point.
Yeah.
That looking at the economic performance of the government,
okay,
that is going to play a vital role for the NPP to retain power.
Okay.
Yes. And so if they are able to change things around, looking at the inflation rate, the high cost of living, and then some other factors that come in place, if they are able to turn things, or they are able to put better mechanisms in place to reduce this, I think this is going to sway a lot of voters to look at their side.
Okay.
And so MPP retaining power is going to be, as he said, is going to be very, very difficult.
Okay.
It's going to be very difficult for them to retain power. But then, like he said, for them to win power is going to depend on those who are going to float, the floating voters, as we term it here.
Yeah.
Because for them, they are not affiliated to any party, but then they look at your performance, and then they give you their votes.
Okay.
And then also the youth wing can also have a positive role to play to help the NPP win power. Why do I say that? The youth has a larger population, okay, and so if they are able to convince the youth, or they are able to do things that will make the youth or have confidence in them that, okay, should we give you the next 4 years, we are going to do certain things, you are going to put policies in place that would be of benefit to us, then I think they will give their votes to the MPP. But from their performance from 2017 when they took over to now, I'll tell you, it's going to be very difficult.
NDC has a big chance?
No. NDC doesn't have a chance either. Now, this election is going to be a 50-50 affair.
Okay.
NPP can take, NDC can take.
Okay.
It's not going to be an easy win.
Okay.
No, not at all.
No, but don't take my party out to the new force. Do you think they also have anything to pull up in this election? Because I think he's a vibrant youth, and as you guys both, I'm bringing in because of the youth aspect you factored in. He's a youth, and you could see he's also championing for the youth. So if you are going to go with the masses, which are the youth, then do you think the cheddar aspect or the new force as party also has a chance on this particular 2024 December election?
For me, I believe that the new force will make some inroads, but they will not be able to win the elections because a lot of factors come to play to win elections in Ghana. And the new force doesn't have that base yet. So maybe this time around, they're just trying to make some announcements and introduce themselves out there. And maybe in future, they will be considered. But for these 2024 elections, I think they are ruled out. They don't have the massive support from the youth as they should have. And I believe that the NDC has an edge over the MPP as we speak today. But elections are social events. Anything can happen at any time.
It's like examination.
Yes, someone can wake up tomorrow and change their mind. So
sure.
elections are social events and things can change. But as of today, I believe that the NDC has a slight edge over the MPP in this election.
Okay, so Matt.
Yes, so looking at the new force, if they're able to get good opposition strategies, I use the term opposition strategies because if they are able to get policies that would outsmart the MPP's policies, the NDC's policies, they may come close, but I don't see the new force winning. That is me.
Sure.
I'm not saying that. No, to me.
Yes.
I don't see the new force, but they are going to make a very significant appearance.
Okay.
Yes, just like in 2020, GUM came, and then like most of us didn't see GUM coming or pulling that number of votes. This time around, we are not seeing them in the picture like the new force. So new force, they are also doing their best, yes. Okay. So, but they should also have good policies that will smart the two leading
parties. Yes. Because I'm also thinking that this 2024, the new force just came to market their product on the market, and I think if they should have their policies or their agendas being organized well, then in the next 2028 or was it 2020 or 2029 election, 2028 election, they can also do something. Now, quick forward, we move on. I wanted us to look at this critically. You know, during 2024, Donald Trump was ruling Americans, right? And he was voted out 2016, I think, right? 2024, it was Donald Trump that was ruling. Then he was voted out. The same time, Mama was ruling that time, and he was voted out. Now, Donald Trump has made a comeback in this 2024 election. So now he has gained his power back. Do you think that can also have a positive effect on our election, that the NDC party can make a turn up and also make a big history by retaining their seat in this December 7th election? 2012, 2016, Mama was ruling, right? And he was voted out 2016, isn't it? Now, Donald Trump has made a big comeback by gaining this seat in 2024. And I'm asking, could that be possible? That NDC or John Mahama can make a quick U-turn?
Right. So let's take it from this angle.
Okay.
On what basis was Trump elected or voted out? And then
based on the policies.
And then in Ghana too, on what basis was Mahama voted out? Okay,
the same issues, because I think Americans were not happy with some of the things that were going on then, right? They were finding in that probably Donald Trump was not siding with majority of them. So if so, let us take me out and give a chance to the next governors. But now they also realize that no, if we should have known earlier, we'll maintain Trump. You understand? And I think that's the main reason why they have to vote him back. And if you relate it to Ghana, 2012, 2014, 16, the same issues. You could see how Ghanaians were agitated, rising with high forces against the NDC administration. You understand? And then they've tried everything possible to vote the NDC party out of power. Now, we've voted for MPP to come into government in 2016 based on those critics of the NDC to the NDC government, and now we have seen a vast difference from both parties. So I'm asking, could this be a comeback? Now that Ghanaians have realized that upon their ranting and disturbing and their noise and everything, Mahama was doing something great then. Compared to this our current situation, look at our economy, our employment, and our all you can get it. What make a country develop? Those are the things they were fighting Mahama against. And now that Donald Trump has come back, I'm asking, per my view, if Mahama can make a comeback, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, it's very possible for Mahama to make a big comeback, just like Donald Trump of the year 2016 before leaving office. So bringing in the AmeriPower deal, the car power ship, and different energy contract that he signed and they brought on stream to solve the problem. So I think today people kind of know better. And aside that as well, the economy was also used because Dr. Bawumia in 2016 was giving lectures and also saying that the economy was bad, the exchange rate was bad. If the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. And he was saying that the economy was too overtaxed, taxation was too high at that point. So we needed a new direction for the country to do well. And they had the men and they had the policies to be able to transform the economy from what we already knew. So Ghanaians said, okay, then let's give them a chance. And also, one factor too is that in 2016, the NEC has been in power for 8 years. So the fatigue has set in. So they said, oh, let's give the NPP an opportunity with Dr. Bawumia as the economic messiah. And from 2017 up to date, we saw that things were a bit okay in 2017, 2018, partly because we were still under the IMF program. But we could see that after we exited the IMF program, I think somewhere around 2019, 2020, things went south. And we were borrowing at more than we could repay. We borrowed and borrowed to a point where the government had to say, oh, now we don't have money to repay, so we are giving haircuts to people, and the economy took a downturn. And I know the NPP or Dr. Bawumia likes to blame this on Russia-Ukraine war and also COVID-19 and things. Okay, they played a role in our economy going down as well, but if the economy had strong fundamentals, we could have withstood them better than we did. So with the economy as well, so people thought that during that time, the economy wasn't doing too well. And Dr. Bawumia came out with some policies and said that if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. So people bought into that and gave the NPP the chance to rule. But as we can all see from 2017 to today, the economy has not been too good. It was good at the beginning, 2017, 2018, 2019, and we were under the IMF program as of that time. And when we left the IMF program, we went on a borrowing spree. We borrowed so much money that we had to do haircuts. We could not repay the loans. So I think that on the economic front, looking at both Mahama and Nanado Bawumia, I think yes, they have issues, but I think the previous was better. Yeah.
All right, so like I said earlier, I don't see any leakage between that. But then Ghanaians, we have our own way of thinking.
Okay.
Yes. So at this time for Mahama or the NDC to make a comeback, I think the media or their media and then the use and then the use of the social media will play a major role over here. You see, if their theme is able to communicate
very well
and discern information
to
the
where
very
information
last
is
place,
supposed to go.
yes, that this is what we've done compared to what our opponents are doing now. We've been able to build this, we've been able to construct bridges here, build school, and then the rest. We've been able to fix this, that. But when our opponent came, they've done just a little of what we have done. If they're able to send these informations down there, then I think the NDC can make a surprise comeback.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't see the US election and then the Ghana election
related.
There's nothing related.
So could it be possible if the NDC government has been voted out because of our economic crisis and other stuff, the challenges that we were having? But don't forget that this year we started having this particular issue of the galamsey aspect of a whole lot, and I think I'm beginning to think that also could have a negative effect on the MPP governance as well, because galamsey has become something that people were fighting, and then they are expecting the city government to do his best on that. So don't you think that because of that aspect too, MPP can be voted out?
Yes, so the galamsey issue has two sides. So we have the people who are promoting it, people who benefit directly. They are the investors in the galamsey issue. Then we have people who do not benefit directly from galamsey, and they are the people that are affected negatively, like you and I. Okay. So when water bodies are polluted, the ordinary Ghanaian suffers because heavy chemicals are being transmitted through our water bodies and also through our food production. So that affects us negatively. So to us, the ordinary Ghanaians, and I think that the galamsey will also be a very crucial issue that will affect the MPP. Mm-hmm. But those who are directly involved in it, for them, they will still want a government that will allow them to do, because they make money out of that.
Exactly.
So they have a different opinion altogether from people who do not benefit directly from it. So it has two sides, and depending on which side of the fence you sit, you see, like, look at it differently. But in all, galamsey is a very bad thing, and we don't need to encourage it.
Okay, so Matt. Okay. So like I was saying, per the point you raised concerning the champion of one good policy that will bring all government together and then be able to follow an agenda. And when a city government is doing a project and it's done, then another government also take charge. Don't leave somebody project somewhere to say, I'm coming to start my own. But I think by so doing, we need to get a state policy. Because it looks like all that we have been hearing today is about the party policies. The party policy is like, I'm bringing my agenda. As to whether I will do it, if me, I don't care. When I win the power finish, I won't do it. But if it has been a policy that have come to stay, yeah, bro.
The only thing they need to do is to amend the constitution.
Exactly.
If that is stated and written, documented, when you come, you not abandon my project.
Okay.
And if somebody should feel like, oh, this thing has been here for long, why won't you come and just complete it? And then you tell me, if I'm frustrated, I should go and complete it.
Charlie, Ghana, we are not serious.
You get it.
Ghana,
so like, we just amend the constitution. And then once Akufo-Addo Bawumia government has started something, if a different government should also come, they should make sure they complete it. Exactly. And in addition, also what? Start with this and then complete it.
It should like road, school, employment. It shouldn't be a policy or an agenda for a political party. It should be a national concern. It should be something that when you come, you have to do it. But if this thing
it is funny. It is funny when you hear them say a constructed road. Charlie.
It's a national issue. And you're telling me you have.
Looks like that has become a privilege for the citizens.
Okay, we will still move. Charlie. Looking at the unemployment rate and the high cost of living under this government, if we should give John Mahama the opportunity on December 7th, do you think, or do we think he will make a difference?
Burden. Because he is only having 4 years. They're looking at where we are now. He should be able to tell us how quick or how soon he can turn things around. And then that, I've not heard him say anything about it yet. Because looking at where the exchange rate is, where the inflation has gotten to, when it comes, how soon is he going to turn things, or how soon will we have some kind of relief for us to start enjoying some kind of comfort and then the rest? If he's able to tell us, give us a duration, like the way somebody promised that in my first 100 days, I'll make Accra the cleanest city in Africa. If he's also able to tell us, okay, in my first 100 days, if I should take power in my first 100 days, I'm going to reduce inflation, I'm going to reduce, or the CD dollar rate is going to change significantly, then I think we will look at certain. But for now, a burden.
You being an economist and other aspect as well, I want to ask you, related to what Matthias says, do you think per the issues, high cost of living and unemployment that we are having in this governance, do you think Mahama can make a difference when he come back?
Yeah, as to whether he can make a difference, yes, it's possible to make a difference. But as to whether he will actually make the difference, until you give him the chance, we may not really know. Because looking at Akufo-Addo, we all had high expectations of him, but the expectations did not turn out to be exactly how we wanted it. He did well with the free senior high school, but on the front of the economy, he has not delivered as he promised. So with Mahama, I think the problems with the economy are known. Like the economists know it. Even the ordinary Ghanaian know the issue of the economy. For example, the exchange rate it's basically demand and supply issue. The demand for the dollar is very high and the supply of it is very low. So why is the demand for the dollar so high? The number one issue is we depend so much on importation. Okay. And anytime you're importing, there's high likelihood that you're going to use the dollar to import. And our sources of the dollar is not that much, apart from our exports, some taxes, and here and there. We don't really have a lot of money coming in. So in order to resolve the exchange rate issue, we need to look at domestic production. So there is no reason why a country like Ghana should be importing rice, hundreds of millions of dollars of rice every year.
Burkina.
Yes.
We buy things from
Burkina.
And we are also Africans.
Yes. We have we import tomatoes, pepper, onions, and everything. If we can put in place a policy to make sure that we produce some of those things in Ghana here, at least the pressure on the dollar will be a bit okay for us, and we're able to resolve that issue. And with the employment rate as well, I think if we introduce policies to promote the private sector, because at the end of the day, it's the private sector that is going to employ a lot of people. So if you give people relief in taxes, Ghana is one of the countries in Africa or even the world that is highly taxed. Our taxes are just too many. Go and import something at the go to Tema Port right now and try to bring in something. Like you think you have committed a sin. Like the taxes will slap on you. it's just too high. And also companies as well. You know, like the taxes on the companies, like consumption tax, those taxes are just too high. If the government can find a means of helping businesses to expand and also give them a breathing space to use their working capital to expand, they'll be able to employ more people. So I think if any government that wins the power this December elections, they should look at that area, helping the private sector, helping business owners to be able to keep their money and reinvest into the business to be able to employ more people. I think that will change.
In addition to that, John Dramani Mahama has also outlined some blueprints on the import fees at the port also. But then that has been stated. Like I said earlier, he should be able to give a time frame. Okay. That when I come, this number of days, this number of months, or within this time, I'll be able to put that into action for you to be relieved. Are you okay? Yeah. Now, when you look at, like he said, the import charges and then the rest at the port now, it's crazy.
Higher. Now, what me talk at 500 million, 50,000 Ghana cedis. Now, go 40,000 Ghana. Are you insane?
And even the most annoying part of that aspect is that some economists were saying that, maybe the import tax is to persuade people from importing and focus on local production. But the issue here is that locally, the government has imposed a lot of taxes on local production as well. So it's both ways. Importation, you pay a lot of taxes. If you produce locally too, you are burdened with high utility costs and high taxes. So it's as if the government is using taxation as a means of raising revenue, just raising money, and that's all. They don't.
And that money can hold easy for.
That's the problem.
That's the issue.
So
our neighbors that are also enjoying the free port services,
like the Togo and then other stuff. You know, I think they know you're brony be you. Because if you have employed people to work at the port, and now this government tell us that he said he first 90 days or 100 he's going to the port to scrap things there, and he made port paperless. That means you are trying to make other people to unemployed as well. This government, me from my point of view, they have really disappointed Ghanaians, and if they should have the chance to retain their seats, they should do something. If not, Ghana they are far. Now we are going to our last point so that all of us will vacate from this place. I want to know, after this one there, if it's something serious, you must go disagree with that thing. You know, we said elections are being won at the police station. So the question is, after the citizens have finished voting, should they stay at the police station until the ballot papers has been counted, or they should go back to their various home to wait for the result? This is the final part of our discussion. So, Mr. Matthias, should they stay?
And then, funny enough, the December 7 is on a Saturday.
Yes.
Okay. On a Saturday, where most people don't go to work. Hey, to be alone, I would say you should go home.
So they should go home.
Go home after 5. You can come back and then.
You can buy a radio set. Those times the time we were young, I think we listened to Radio Good. So 88 1. So, Mr. Bright, what's your opinion on that? Should the voters go home after casting their vote, or they should stay to witness the counting from their various police stations?
Yeah, I agree with Matthias on that the individual voters as citizens, first of all, we should all turn out in our numbers to vote for whoever we think will be a better manager of the economy.
The vote is very important too.
Yes, so I'll call on every Ghanaian that we should go out there to vote. And after voting, I think individuals should retire home. They should go home and have some rest, because the election counting and declaration will take a long time. It will go into the night, even the following day. So after voting, I think they should go home, have some rest, and later, when the polls are over, they can go back to the police station and witness the counting and make sure that everything is works well. And the political parties too have to also ensure that there's peace at the police stations. They shouldn't do any. They shouldn't bring much women to the police station to snatch boxes or do anything. They should just make sure that we organize this election well and everybody will be happy at the end.
Okay, so I want you to continue. Summarize your fact or your opinion on the election. Just give me some 2 seconds or one.
So this 2024 elections, I think a lot is at stake here for both parties. The MPP wants to break their 8 and continue with their work. The NDC wants to make a good comeback. We as citizens, what we are looking for is a very peaceful elections. The EC, the security services, political parties, and all stakeholders should make sure that they give us a very peaceful elections. And we citizens as well, we need to do our part to give ourselves a peaceful election. And at the end of the day, like whatever wins, we just have to support the person to make sure that the country goes forward. Yeah.
So, Matthias, your summary.
So, as he clearly stated, the countdown to the election, we should all do our best to maintain the peace we are already enjoying in the country.
Okay. So, viewer, this has brought us to our end discussion on the coming 2024 election in December 7. Please, your vote is important. As my colleagues are saying here, let all of us try our possible best to go out and vote well, and make sure you elect the best person to become your leader. You know, sometimes people say me too about. But don't forget, if you don't vote, I will go and vote and elect somebody you don't want. Another day you enjoy or you risk the punishment as well. So you should do well to go and cast your vote on coming December 7th. It's about 27 days, you know, so let us try our possible best to go and do that. This is Exhubgh Studio, and my name is Robert Mugabe. Keep watching, and I'll give you more updates on the election coming on. Also, don't forget to hit the notification button, like, share, comment on our work. Stay safe. Thank you for being with us. Bye.